Good morning, and welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Glad you could join me here today. As always, it's a beautiful Sunday morning in St. Louis, Missouri today. Hope it's wonderful wherever you are in the world. Today's topic is going to be, what is it going to be? Persistence, perseverance, tenacity. And we will begin with that right after you smash that like button and subscribe now. And thank you to my 1,385 subscribers. Got another one yesterday. Glad you could join us. And we will begin right after this. You have to be strong enough to endure these things. You have to approach women. With today's social media, she's constantly being hit on. Women are always in the game. You have to stay focused. We are men. That's what we do. Let's go with tenacity, perseverance, persistence, and how about courage? You've got to have courage to pursue your goals and dreams. Excuse me. You've got to have courage to approach that girl. But what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? I'll tell you what I was afraid of. I was down in Mexico. I did let fear stop me, but I will never do it again in a situation like this. Well, it was fear and somewhat respect for another person. So it was a combination of two, I believe. Although the next time this happens, I will not hesitate. That's what I learned from this, because I had an opportunity that may never come again. An opportunity for what? I'm not sure, but an opportunity to find out what I may have had an opportunity for, if that makes any sense. I'll tell you what happened. So I flew to Mexico, to Cancun, to meet this chick from Colombia. Medellin, Colombia. We had been together before, so we decided to spend a couple days together. Okay, so I get to the airport and I check out and come out of the airport, and I'm right outside the door and I'm waiting for her. And she had texted me she came in at a different terminal and I didn't know it, unbeknownst to me at the time. So I'm standing outside the door where everyone comes out after they get their bags. I get a text message from her and it says, "Hey, I'm here, I'm out." So I'm thinking, well, and then a lot of people start coming out, so I'm like, she's coming out any minute. And I had been standing there for about 20 minutes maybe, waiting for her flight to come in. And I'm watching the people come out, and this fine-looking girl comes walking out. She's probably 22 years old, 5'1", maybe 104 or 5 pounds. I'm a good judge of weight and height. Okay, and I'm looking at her. She's walking out with a friend, a girl. And she looks at me while I'm looking at her, and it's like our eyes locked. And if you've ever experienced this, you know what I'm talking about. We connected, and we just kept looking at each other until she walked past me on down the way. And I'm like, geez, I want to go talk to her, but the girl I'm supposed to meet is going to be walking out here any minute. I mean, I figured she was going to be coming out like maybe while I'm looking at this girl. So the girl walks on past me and I continue to watch at the door, and I turned over my shoulder to look to see where that girl had gone. And as I turned over and looked at her, she had turned back and was looking for me also. And I'm like, man, I want to walk. She was probably 50 feet away. Like, I'm going to go over there and get her number. I thought, shit, as soon as I do, the girl I'm waiting for is going to walk out the door. So I thought that would be disrespectful. Long story short, I didn't get her number and I was at the wrong terminal. So my girl that I was meeting never walked out that door. I mean, she is fine too. If you look on my Instagram, you can see a photo of her in my stories. So, but I'm still thinking about the girl the one that got away because I didn't approach her. And as I said, it wasn't, if I had been waiting for a guy friend of mine, I would have chased this chick down. I would have walked down or walked over and talked to her. I would have done something, but that wasn't the case. So I didn't do that. So who knows what might have happened had I took that chance of talking to her and maybe the girl I was waiting for coming out while I'm getting this girl's number. I didn't do it. You can look at that however you want to, but the point is, I learned something from that. Next time I'll take the chance. The girl that I met in Cancun, we're not going together. We're just dating, I guess you would call it. So it's not like she's my steady girlfriend. So it wouldn't have been blatant disrespect. Although I have to admit I wouldn't like it if I walked out and I seen her getting a guy's phone number or her giving her number to a guy. So anyway, that was the deal. But back to the persistence, consistency, and courage. It's like last night we had the podcast, and my daughter really laid out some big truth bombs about what girls like and what they don't like. I mean, I was really proud of her. She was really laying it out there, and it was a gem for any man who wants to know what women think about, because she gets it. She's one of the few girls that'll tell you honestly what she likes. She'll tell you she doesn't want to be treated like a queen. She doesn't want to be the center of attention. And a lot of girls out there will tell you they want to be your everything. They don't really want that. They don't know what they want. And come to find out, the sound was distorted, so you couldn't hear it very well. There were some parts that you couldn't understand at all. It's like, Jesus. So we talked the whole time, and the voices are really distorted. It's just the way it is. That was the way it was supposed to be. I don't know why. I don't like it. It was a mistake. It happened. We'll take care of that, and hopefully it'll never happen again. I thought of some ways I could troubleshoot that. I need to have someone watching and keeping us track of what's going on. So that's what I'll do in the future. Is it a failure? Well, somewhat. Did I learn from it? Yes, I did. So we have to take these things and use them not as, oh, geez, I screwed up, how embarrassing. I don't give a shit. We did the best we could. It didn't work out okay. That's all right. We move on from that. And anytime you have a failure such as that, or let's say you approach a girl and she disses you or says, what the hell are you talking to me for? Whatever. You had the courage to attempt rather than standing back like the majority of people and wondering what might have been had you done that. To a certain degree, what I did in Mexico. But like I said, that borderlines between courage and disrespect. At least that's my point of view. I may be in denial though. I don't think so, because I have no trouble talking to women. I had another deal in the airport the week before. I was going to Orlando, and this woman and her daughter walked by, and she was an older woman, which usually I'm not attracted to older women. Maybe she was in her 40s. I haven't dated a girl over 30 for probably 30 years, 40 years, whatever. 30 years. No, actually, I don't think I have. But anyway, I thought, man, she's a nice looking woman. So she passed me by, but I wasn't as attracted to her as much as I was the girl in Mexico. But lo and behold, when I boarded the plane, she was sitting right beside where I was, her and her daughter. So I sat down there and I talked to her the whole time, and we changed. I gave her my contact information, and she lives close by to where I'm at, and she might call me someday. We'll see. I usually ask for their number. That usually works better because most of the time when you give a girl your contact information, she won't always contact you, although sometimes they will. But I wasn't sure if she was still married to her daughter's father or not. I was not sure, so I gave her the opportunity to contact me should she like. I told her we'd get together and have a drink. I don't drink, but she did. She was talking and joking about how she wanted to have a drink, but she figured she'd be singing and dancing. So I told her, I said, hey, shoot me a text, we'll get together, have a drink, and maybe you could sing for me. So anyway, we had a good conversation on the plane, made the flight go by quicker, and I did that, so no problem there. It's so easy to talk to girls if you just forget about what you think you're going to get out of it. And you don't have to worry about what you're going to say. Just listen to what they say, and they will give you cues of what they want to talk about. So many of you guys are afraid to approach a girl because you don't know what you're going to say. I'm going to give you a good line to say. It's simple, easy, and you won't forget it. Here you go. Hey, what's up? Hello. Hey, where you going? How you doing? Girl, you looking fine today. I know you don't say that unless you... I've said that to girls, but it has to be exactly the right situation. It has to come out naturally. Girls hear how pretty they are all the time. My daughter said yesterday on the show that, what did she say? That she hears it all the time that she's pretty or she's cute or whatever, so it just doesn't mean anything to her. If you're going to say something about the way a girl looks, you've got to put some charisma and flair into it. I mean, something like, man, you're looking too good. Just you got to kind of bullshit it up a little bit. But like I said, it depends on the situation. And when you look at her, how she looks back at you, how much bullshit you can lay out there. Now, I say bullshit, but what I mean is you're just kind of emphasizing it with charisma rather than going up and saying something like this. Boy, you're really beautiful. It's like flat and dead. Girl, you are fine as hell. Man, where you been? I ain't seen a girl like you. The first girl in the airport, I seen like it all day. I mean, like I said, though, it just depends. That sounds kind of crazy, but I've used that and it works because it's different. Now, you have to adapt that to your character. What I'm saying is put some energy and charisma in it. In contrast to that, as I said earlier, this is flat and boring. Oh, you're really pretty. Where are you from? What the hell is that? You know, she hears that shit all the time. You got to be different. You got to have some energy. You got to put something into it that she's never experienced before. What's the worst thing she's going to do? What's wrong with you? I doubt it. She's going to be surprised. And unless you come off as a creep, which you won't if you just say what you feel. I mean, do you really feel like, oh, you're so beautiful. Can I go out with you? Or would you have a coffee with me? I mean, is that how you feel? Or do you have some energy inside of you that wants to emphasize something like, man, you're looking good. Put something into it. You know, don't come off as drab and fearful. Who gives a shit what she thinks? Especially if you're in an airport or somewhere, you're never going to see this girl again. What does it matter? What if she hacks you? What if she doesn't? What if she wants to talk to you? What if she wants to see you? What if she's in a hurry, but she gives you her contact information, and there you go. Huh? What do you got to lose? Nothing. Don't let fear control you. Say what bubbles up, what comes up. That's why people like to have a few drinks, because they don't let their inhibitions stop them. They say what pops into their head. And that's what's wrong with most of you guys. You think too damn much. You see a girl you think is fine as hell, and instead of going up and saying, man, you're looking good, you go, well, let me see. Oh, she probably won't want to talk to me. She's probably married. She's probably got a boyfriend, etc., etc., etc. It goes on and on. Walk up to that girl, look straight into her eyes, and tell her whatever in the hell is on your mind. I'd love to get naked with you. Now, you got to be careful with that one here in the U.S. I used to say that when I was younger, and you know how many girls I got in bed doing that? Quite a few. Because I would say, no, we don't have to have sex. I I just like to be naked with you in bed and I'd like to feel your body up against mine. You think girls don't know what you want? They know what you want when you go up and say, hey, you want to get together sometime? They know exactly what you want. You want to get together? What that means to her, translated, is I want to have sex with you. You think they don't know? But as I said, here in the States, you got to be careful about what you say because everything is offensive. So if you're going to say something really straightforward like, I want to fuck you, or I want to have sex with you, or I want to get naked with you, make sure that she is going to be receptive to that. And you can figure that out pretty quick by the way she looks at you. Like the girl I told you about in Mexico, you don't have to worry about stuff like that. Only in the West, in the US, do you have to worry about what you say. I mean, I'm not talking about being rude or derogatory or vulgar. I'm talking about expressing how you feel. Many of you guys are afraid to say something to a woman like you would like to have sex with her. You think they don't know it? But then again, like I said, in this society today, you got to be careful where you say things like and how you say things. You could say that in a club, everybody's drinking and partying, you'd be okay. Now, it's only harassment if she doesn't, how do I say it? If she doesn't accept it and she says, no, I don't want anything to do with you, and you come back and keep pursuing her. Now, then it becomes harassment, okay? But you are smart enough to differentiate between that and, whether she's accepting it, appreciating it, enjoying it, or whether it's turning her off or she's kind of put off by it. You have to be aware of how she's receiving it, and you have to be aware of how you give it. Practice it. Go to the mirror and practice saying certain things. Now, I'm not telling you to say exactly what I say. These are things that come naturally from me. And you may use the very same words that I use, but it may come off distorted or, what's the word I want? Creepy or cringy coming from you. It just depends on the situation, how the girl's looking at you. You need to develop a sense of their body language. Not so much what they say, if they say anything, but how they say it, how they look at you, how they're holding their body, their posture. Are they in a defensive mode? Are they open and receptive to what you're saying or your approach? There are many things like that. But a good idea is to go to the mirror and look in the mirror and say these things to yourself. Say them smoothly. Hey, I was noticing you over there. Man, you're looking good. I had to come over here and talk to you. I couldn't let that pass by. If I did, I always wonder, what's that girl like? So here I am. What are you doing here? Whatever. You have to adjust it to the situation you're in. Don't think. Just act and speak. When it bubbles up inside of you, say it. Don't hesitate. He who hesitates is lost. And you'll be lost too if you hesitate the next time you see that fine looking girl and you don't approach. And that's all I got time for today. If you'd like to get my help personally, you can contact me through my website at marksinspiration.com. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, hit the PayPal or Cash App button. And if not, it's all free. So enjoy it. Take care.